Hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Play. My name is Anna Mardell. This is The Crown and the Flame Book 2, Chapter 12. Val's undercover mission takes a dangerous turn and Dom struggles to pass his final test in the spirit world. Can I just say, I really like this book, and one of the things I really like is how many women are in it. We've got Val, we've got Zenobia, we've got Helene, we've got Kenna, we've got Annalise. You know, even when we recruited Helene, by the way, which was awesome, she doesn't say that the soldier that we saved, she doesn't say he's with me, she says she's with me, so there's a girl soldier. And I really appreciate how many girls are in this. It's not like a Smurfette thing where there's like one girl for each story. There's, you know, a whole bunch of them and they're working together, and like that whole last chapter was massively Bechdel passing. I think it was more women talking than it was men, and I like that because it's so rare in video games, let me tell you. So anyway, that's nice. Chapter 12. Here we go. Boom. Oh, there's a big dragon up there. The Storming of Lycos. Really? Whoa, I thought that was later. Okay, now playing as Val Greaves. Princess Zenobia has just caught you in Hex's lab. She stands between you and the door, glaring icily. Imagine my surprise when, after dealing with my incompetent guards, I find my handmaiden snooping around in my scientist's laboratory. You set Hex's paper and the Kraken's jar down on a table, raising your hands in a calming gesture. Look, there is definitely a good explanation for all this. Taking a deep breath, you find yourself speaking in an even, deferential voice. I'm terribly sorry, mistress. You'd been gone barely a moment when Lady Hex came storming into your rooms, demanding my assistance. Hex wanted your help? With what? Cleaning, mistress. She hasn't let any of the maids in here for weeks. I think the clutter was finally too much for her. She bade me dispose of all the loose papers and clean the tables. And what are you doing with that? I aim to clean the creature's tank as well, mistress. I don't believe it. You're my handmaiden, aren't you? Hex can't just steal you away to do petty tasks when you're supposed to be serving me. You're absolutely right, Your Majesty. Obviously! Come along, I'm going to give Hex a piece of my mind. We can't do... I mean, there's no need, mistress. There's absolutely a need. I can't have Hex snatching up servants whenever she pleases. Next, she'll be taking the kitchen staff as test subjects. Zenobia turns her back on you, heading for the door. I've been too lenient with that woman. I'm going to remind her who rules in this. You move in close behind Zenobia and lock your arm around her neck, cutting off the blood flow to her brain. Zenobia struggles, but your grip remains firm. A few seconds later, she slumps in your arms. Well, that could have gone worse. You hoist the unconscious princess over your shoulder. While carefully balancing Zenobia's limp form, you gather up Hex's plans, tuck them under your arm, and scoop up the Kraken's jar in your free hand. Shut up, you. I'm improvising. You head for the door. Consider this my letter of resignation. Wait, but we could just stab her? Would that be bad? Having seen Val's signal in the window of Lycos' castle, you hide in the shadows near a small gate in the castle's wall. Sundown was nearly 2 hours ago. I don't know why I even bothered to come along. You're not worried about Val? What if she signaled because she's in trouble? We need to trust that Val can handle herself. Val is one of the most competent people I know.
She'll be here, I know it. Agreed. I'm sure there's no cause for alarm. Most likely, she's simply come across information that she felt we needed to know immediately. Maybe she's heard something about Hex's mysterious weapons. Even a few pages of notes would be very... The gate suddenly bangs open. Val staggers out. Val, you're okay! By the great tree! Is that Zenobia?
Either that or a sack of really fancy potatoes. Someone gonna help me out here or what?
You help Val lower the unconscious princess to the ground. Val then shoves a thick roll of papers into Whitlock's hands.
Here you go, little man. Cleaned her out of all the papers I could find. Big one in the middle looks pretty weapony.
Val holds up a jar containing a small sea creature.
Doing okay there, Bubbles?
And what is that?
This is Bubbles, and he's coming with us. Anyone have a problem with that?
No problem. Not a word from me. Val looks around at your stunned faces.
What?
Val! I won't kiss her, that's mean after I knew you could do it.
Well, obviously. I'm amazing. So, thanks for coming, everyone. Since we've got the princess, and since the guards are all scrambling in Helene's absence, I figure now is a good time for that taking over Lycos thing we've been talking about.
You're right. We can't miss this opportunity. Whitlock, run back to camp and tell Leon to get the army ready. We'll meet him at the front gates. Affirmative. Whitlock takes off running down the cobbled street. Val follows close behind him, nearly tripping over her long skirts.
Hold on! I'm not fighting in this stupid dress! Where's my armor?
I happen to think that dress suits her. Pity we didn't hide Valentina's armor when we had the chance.
I wouldn't say that where Val can hear you.
A spy master never speaks without knowing exactly who is listening. Of course. A short time later, you stand at the head of your army before the Lycos castle. Guards line the tops of the castle walls, bows at the ready. Well, this ought to be fun. Been a while since I saw you so happy, Leon. One of the guards comes forward to shout down at you. Well, look who finally showed up. It's the Tiny Queen. And she's brought her tiny army along. Too bad, you need an army 10 times bigger to break through these walls. That would be too bad if we intended to try and break through the walls. But I don't need to. You're going to open the gates for me. Oh yeah? And why would we do that? Val? Val emerges from the ranks of soldiers, pushing a shackled Zenobia ahead of her.
Hey! Touch me again, and I'll have your hands cut off. Princess, you're really not in position to be making threats.
Val draws one of her daggers and holds the edge against Zenobia's throat. Zenobia, tell your soldiers to open the gate, or we'll put your pretty head on a spike or shave you bald. Let's go with the bald one. We can always escalate, right? Tell your soldiers to open the gate, or we'll shave you bald. You wouldn't. Willing to bet on that? Val grabs a handful of Zenobia's hair and raises her dagger.
Open the gate! Do it now! Hurry!
Zenobia's soldiers rush to obey. The main gates swing open to admit your army. After the army has disbanded the enemy soldiers and taken the castle,
I, Princess Zenobia Navraki, do hereby surrender control of Lycos to Queen Kenna Reese of Stormholt.
Thank you, Zenobia. I accept. Count your blessings, Princess. Sure, we took your castle, but at least you still got your head. No need to sound so disappointed, sis. Yes, we should be thankful that this takeover was accomplished without bloodshed.
Oh, there's going to be plenty of bloodshed when Father gets here.
I don't doubt that. But at least Luther won't be getting any help from you in this battle.
It doesn't matter. It won't be long before he kills you all. And I can't wait to see it. I hate her, but I don't know. She feels like a product of her horrible family. Like, you take a kid and raise them to never be told no, and in this bloodthirsty environment where killing is common, and I feel like this is kind of what you get. I hate her less than I hated Marco, if that makes sense. Marco was like, oh, I don't know, I hated Marco more. Maybe because he was more proactive and was actually going out and conquering people. I don't know. Now playing as Dom. Surrounded in the spirit world by a second wave of Navraki soldiers, you're determined to protect Kenna indefinitely. I won't let them harm you. A Navraki soldier rushes at you, and you burn him without even a second glance. Dom, you can't win. No, Kenna, I'm not giving up on you. You fool. Do you not see that there is no end? Fire coils around Anu's body like a blazing whirlwind. He slams his hand into the ground, sending out the fire in a wave that destroys everything in its path. Whoa! The walls of the throne room blow apart. You find yourself standing on the starry path once again, Anu and Kenna by your side. Ugh, why can't I get this? I need to finish my training now and get back to the real Kenna in time. You cannot rush your training. The faster you try to go, the slower you progress. I'm failing you, aren't I? The only person you are failing is yourself. Oh. Good? Each person's journey is different, just as all dragons are different. I can only tell you what I know. The mastery of the fire comes from letting go, from focusing solely on your training, and giving up all else. And that starts here, in the spirit world, by giving up the one person you swore to protect. Suddenly, Navraki soldiers begin to materialize around you. Really thought you could get rid of us that easy? More and more soldiers form, hundreds, thousands, until you find yourself surrounded by an entire army. There are so many. Dom, will you finally let her die, Dominic? Will you let her go and give yourself to the fire? I don't know the right answer. The guide I'm following protects her, and it feels like Anu wants me to say I'll let her die, but I'm so trained for these things to be some kind of psychological gotcha where that's the wrong answer. And how dare you give up? So I don't know, I'll protect her forever. I know you think I should let her die, that I should just let her go and move on. And hell, the spirit world might be telling me that too. Your shadow self is a warning of what you could become. But you also said everyone's journey is different. Deep down anew, letting go of Kenna just feels wrong. Everything in me is telling me to hold on to her. Maybe the spirit world is warning me of something else. Maybe instead my shadow is what I will become if I do forget her. Maybe I'm not the one who's wrong. Maybe you are. What? I won't let her die, Anu. Not in here and not out there. You move to protect Kenna, but Anu reaches out and quickly touches your forehead. You wake up in the real world. Why did you stop me?
Nearby, Phoebus echoes your anger. Because you failed. You refused to let Kenna die. When you disobeyed me to go into the spirit world, you wasted your time with foolish fantasies. And then you had the impudence to suggest that I am wrong? Dude, I have a phoenix. I don't know if you're wrong. I just know that letting Kenna die can't be right. When I had nothing, when I was no one, she was there for me. She's been the one person I could count on my entire life. Maybe if I had been raised here, it would be different. I would be different. More like you and Say. But I was raised at Stormhold Castle, and Kenna Reese was my only friend and defender there. I know I can't let go of that. Very well. Perhaps you were right. You weren't raised with our ways. Your training may be impossible. Thank you for at least trying. I'll be going now. Kenna needs me. Say approaches, scrambling up the rocks. She pulls you aside. Please tell me I didn't hear all of that correctly. It's idiotic to leave now. So I guess you're staying to finish your training? Yes, I'll come when I'm ready. What about your grandfather? Do you think there's a chance he'd fight for our side? He doesn't seem very happy with you, Lowlander. And believe me, my grandfather's the kind of man you want on your side. This may be your only chance to make peace with him. Did we make the wrong choice? I don't know. Hang on, okay? I gotta check and see if my guide is right, because my guide might be wrong. I am back, and I cannot find in any of my... Oops, that's not what I want. I have looked at like 5 different videos for this chapter, and all of them have the no, I won't let her die. So, I want to know what happens. You want to know what happens. We're going to spend a key to restart chapter 12, and we're going to zip through the previous choices and see what happens. And it might suck, okay? And we might decide to come back and do it all a third time and say the same thing as before. I'm not gonna make you skip through all this. I'm gonna skip to the skippy. Otherwise, you're just gonna hear my mouse click, 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 click. So give me 1 second. Okay, I am back. I have a lot of complicated feelings about this thing to let Kenna die, because on the one hand, I don't actually agree that having no emotions and no attachments makes you better focused. That's... To me, it's something that seems easy, like, oh, if I didn't love people, then I wouldn't get hurt anymore. And yet, if you didn't have anybody at all that you cared about, I mean, nobody whatsoever, not even a cat, you know, I feel like it would be very easy to get unmoored from what's important and good and what isn't, you know. And I mean, some people may make that work, but I just don't think it's some kind of ideal that all fighters should be trained for or whatever. On the other hand, maybe we're misunderstanding, and this isn't so much you need to have no emotions about her. Maybe it's that you need to accept that she might get killed. She could get killed. Maybe this is like that Star Trek thing with the unwinnable, you know, battle to see how you react whenever you're absolutely going to die. Psychologically. I don't remember what that's called. Somebody will know. I know it, I just can't remember it off the top of my head. Anyway, so we're going to see what happens when we let Kenna die, because I couldn't find any other videos where people let Kenna die, so we're going to let Kenna die. I will... You step back and watch as the soldiers close in on Kenna. They lunge forward, stabbing her repeatedly with their swords. Dom! You feel torn inside, broken somehow. Kenna. The soldiers disappear, leaving behind only Kenna's still lifeless body. A silence falls over the spirit world. Well, what happens now? I passed, didn't I? You did. I don't understand. That should have unlocked your dragon. You and a new weight there, but nothing happens. Finally, Anu reaches over and touches your forehead, and you wake in the real world. What does this mean, Anu? I honestly do not know. We'll have to revisit again tomorrow. That night, you dream that you're lying in your bed at Stormhold. But why am I here? You get out of bed and walk to the mirror. Suddenly, you feel a lurch in your stomach. Dread overwhelms you, causing you to double over. You watch as, to your horror, black tendrils begin to wrap around you, turning your skin a sickly stone gray. No. Your eyes cloud over, becoming a deep blood red. What is happening to me? It's a dream from which you never wake. You have died.
But you! Okay then. So, there was one right choice, and that right choice was to not do what Anu said. So, okay, I feel slightly better about disobeying him because it's... teachers can be wrong. Experts can be wrong. At the same time, I don't like the idea that, you know, well, I'm from a different place, so I know what I'm talking about, and all of your stuff is wrong. You know, so, but I mean, they did make it clear. It's not because they're wrong. It's because Dom is different. So, okay, fine. But I will protect her forever. I know you think I should let her die. That I should just let her go and move on. And hells, the spirit world might be telling me that too. Your shadow self is a warning of what you could become. But you also said everyone's journey is different. Deep down, Anu, letting go of Kenna just feels wrong. Everything in me is telling me to hold on to her. Maybe the spirit world is warning me of something else. Maybe instead, my shadow is what I will become if I do forget her. So, I mean, that's literally what happened. So, okay, we'll zip, 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 zip. And nice to know that the Phoenix was on our side. So. Perhaps you were right. You weren't raised with our ways. Your training may be impossible. Thank you for at least trying. I'll be going now. Kenna needs me. Okay, so now we talk to Say, and she says, he doesn't seem very happy with you, Lowlander. And believe me, my grandfather's the kind of man you want on your side. This may be your only chance to make peace with him. Yeah, let's add him. 30 diamonds. 30. I should remind everyone there's a PayPal link in the comments if anyone wants to throw $1 my way. You move to Anu, settling down beside him. You take a deep breath, speaking from the heart. Anu, I've been brash and disobedient. And willful and stubborn. Not sure we need to keep listing things, but yes, all of those. I've been obsessed with helping Kenna and blinded by my urgency. I should have been more respectful, and I'm sorry. I know it may be too late. There is no such thing as too late when it comes to apologies. I accept. So, will you help in the battle against Luther? Say and I will be there on the battlefield when the time is right. It'll be my honor to fight beside both of you. Thank you, Anu. Is it weird that literally nobody is talking about Anton? Anton, who was a child friend who is gone, and Hex took him, and nobody seems to care to rescue him or avenge his death or anything? Goodbye, Say. Good luck with your training. You're the one in need of luck, Lowlander. With that, you rush off down the mountain, towards the far end of the realm. Hold on, Kenna, please. Fight. Survive. I'll be there soon. What about Will and Severin? What? Was that a dream? With Lycos now under your control, you return to your coastal command tent,
or you will make your final stand. Whitlock is waiting for you. You're looking grim. What's wrong? We took the castle, but Hex somehow managed to escape without anyone spotting her. I think I know how. Whitlock spreads one of Hex's plans out on the table. You trace the complex, unfamiliar shapes with your finger. What is it? A ship, suspended beneath a container of heated gas and propelled by a pair of engines. You mean this is a ship that can fly? Yes! We've already got a lot of steampunk, and we just hit our dirigible box. You can't have steampunk without a dirigible. It's how she was able to destroy the foundry. We never thought to prepare for an attack from above. I can't figure out how she's able to heat the gas and power the engines. It'd take a massive amount of energy. Where would she get that much energy? What if she's using captive fire magic users? I told you she had a captive fire user at the ball. She could easily have more under her control. That would work. She's already proven that she can harness her magic. Remember the cannon at Stormholt? How could I forget? You're the mechanical genius, Whitlock. Can you see any way to counter these flying ships? Not yet. Piercing the gas canisters would bring them down, but their bellies are heavily armored. They're vulnerable from above, but that's pretty much useless to us. You take one of Whitlock's hands in yours, squeezing gently. They're both metal, so she's squeezing a prosthesis, but I like that she is because that's the thing that we do. You'll find a way, Whitlock. You always do. Thank you, Kenna. I won't let you down, I promise. The next day, you and your allies watch as your fleet sails into the Wolf's Mouth in preparation for battle. A glorious sight. It's been a long time since the armies of Stormholt took to the sea. It is beautiful. I just hope it will be enough. We brought more than just pretty boats, remember? The people of Alriel are ready to fight for you. Kai's just excited to show off those special fighting moves we've been working on. Like you're not! Come on, they're amazing! I must say, I'm not used to opposing the Navraki rules so publicly. But I like you, Kennerese. You have my allegiance, as well as 50 of my best assassins. I love her! Much appreciated. Invite them to the wedding. Thorngate stands with you as well. Our soldiers are preparing to march as we speak. We can provide a force 1,000 strong. Except what, Rowan? If we lose the battle against Luther, there will be no one left to defend Thorngate. If half the army remains behind, they can act as a second line of defense. Goodness, the battle hasn't even begun and you're already planning for failure? What do you know of battle tactics, thief? I know that assuming you're going to fail is a good way to make that assumption come true. 500 troops will not be enough to defend Thorngate against Luther, but combined with our existing army, they could make the difference between victory and defeat. Rowan turns to look at you. And what says Queen Kenna? Yeah, let's say every last Thorngate soldier. I mean, I get it. I understand her concerns, and I actually disagree with Adder, because it's ridiculous to say planning Planning a plan B does not mean that your plan A will fail. That's stupid. That's superstitious. But I completely agree that 500 soldiers is not going to be able to stop Luther. If Luther defeats us here, Thorngate is going to be taken no matter what. So, yeah, bring him. We need every last Thorngate soldier. Especially now that we know of Hex's airships, we can't afford to hold anything back. If we're going to free the Five Kingdoms, we must stand together as one. We must defeat Luther here and now. Very well. You will have your 1,000 troops, and I will pray for a decisive victory. Thank you, Rowan. We might just be ready for Luther, especially if Helene fulfills her promise to bring more soldiers. As Rowan leaves to send her message, you hear armored boots hurrying down the docks. Turning, you see Jackson and Severin jogging toward you. Queen Kenna, we came as fast as we could.
Yeah, as fast as he could. For me, a nice little stroll.
Thank the gods, you're back. Did you find Dom? Okay, so they were real. Okay. We did. He said he wasn't ready to come back. Oh, I see. Did he say... was there anything else?
Said he'd try to be here soon. Hope he can run faster than this twig man.
I suppose that's something. Thank you both. Jackson and Severin bow, then head back into the camp. Annalise puts an arm around your shoulders. Oh, Kenna, Dom will make it here in time. I know he will. I hope so. See, they make such a good triad together. Because the time for battle is here, whether he makes it or not. Okay, chapter progress. Through your exceptional cunning, you gained Zenobia's trust and struck when she least expected it. You captured Princess Zenobia and gained control of Lycos Castle. You made peace with Firemaster Anu and gained a powerful ally for the final battle. You discovered that Hex has constructed flying warships. You called upon every soldier of Thorngate to join the final battle, leaving none to defend their home. We've got everybody alive and recruited. Excellent. Everything's maxed out. 264 to 264. Okay, so that was chapter 12 of... which we used 2 keys on, so we could end up as Shadow Dom and die. That was annoying. That was chapter 12 of The Sword in the Flame, book 2. We've got 3 chapters left, 13, 14, 15, and 16. I'm sorry, 4 chapters left. And that's the thing. That's what's going on. So I will see you in the next video. I'm sorry this one took so long. We wanted to see what else was happening. I can see why nobody else picked the bad choice that gets killed, because that's the bad choice that gets you killed. So, okay then. I will see you in the next video. My name is Anna Mardal. I hope that you're enjoying these as much as I am. Bye-bye.